So like normal thing, I say my func1 and go and I run P41. So when I run P41, I get print line 1. This is definition, print line 2 and 3. Since this is global, I can call it. Now, if I try to call my func2, since my func2 is local to this, if I try to call it from here, it says function 2 is not defined. Okay, it cannot go inside this entry. So if it is defined inside this, right, it is local to this function. So you can call this function inside this function only. Okay, so here if I comment it out, this is where I'm calling. Okay, so now again, function will execute only when we call function 1. Right? Even though function 1 is calling function 2, it doesn't matter because function 1 itself is not called. Right? And function 1 will execute only when we call function 1. Right? So I go here, okay, and I say my func1. Now my function 1 is calling, and when function 1 is called, it goes to line number 2. After printing this, it goes to line number 8, printing this. After printing 2, my func 2 is there. So it's going to call that function. So after line 2, you will see these two print, and then finally line number 3. Okay. So this is how you can use function as a variable, local function, global function. Is it good?
So basically, only global functions can be called back. And
yes,
it's
just like variables, right?
okay.
If I define inside a, so if you go back to our P2, I have defined, let's say, a variable inside this. I call it I equal to 100 or whatever. This I cannot be called here, the main. I cannot say print I here. Because I say print I, it will say I not defined. Just like we got message there that func2 is not defined. Okay, I is not defined. Okay, because it's I's scope is only within this function. Outside this function, I can't. Inside this, I can print it here. I can print it here. You know, print I will work here. Okay, because it is within. Okay, but there is a syntax error because this cannot be this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to print it, say outside if else block. So here it will work fine. It will give you 100, right? Because it is defined inside the function, it is being printed here. But you can't use it here. Same way, function 2, you can't use function outside if it is defined as local function.
Got it.
Okay.
Okay.
So now we'll talk about one more concept under decorator. So scope of function. Then we've been passing arguments to function. Now we will pass function to a function. So I told you decorator means function can be also used as variables, right? So variables we do pass to a function. So here again we will see variable functions being passed to function. Let me comment this. We don't want extra lines to be printed. So I define a function called my def, right? Def my func3. Okay, and let's say yeah. Okay, so my func3, okay, and I define here print calling from my func3. Okay, calling from my func3 to something like that. Okay. Now I define another function. Okay. So I say this is my func4, my func4, my func4. Right. So I can, you know, I can call my func3, I can call my func4, absolutely no problem, right? But let's say if this takes an argument, okay, I call it as argument one, arg1. Okay, I'm passing argument one to it. So I'm saying here, okay, my func4 bracket open, say 50, right? This is what we've been doing so far. So I can print 50 here. Argument one will be 50 and it can be printed or added. It's a number, right? So you can even add to another number, etc. And so 50, I say my func3. In my func4, I'm saying my func3. So what happens? This argument will have value of what?
It'll become my func3 with
Simple, I'm asking you. Argument one value will be what? My func3, right? So, okay. So my func3 is the argument one value is my func3. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to say argument, okay, one bracket open and close. Okay, so there is no function called argument one. Instead, argument one is the argument that is being passed to it. So if I call my func3, it's going to call my func3. So if I run it now, okay, the other one. So first my func4 is called. So func4 is here. Printing calling from my func4. So this will be printed, right? Then you get argument one. Argument one is nothing but, see, it's a function, so you have to put a bracket open and close. So argument one is my function 3. It goes to my function 3. So my function 3 will execute these lines of code. Then comes back here and says my func4 too. You can call my func1 as well. Okay, here I'm saying my func1, but see, giving error because my func1 is defined after this. So I'm going to cut this and paste it afterward. So now when you run it, okay, so my func4 of my func1. So my func4 will be called first, right? So calling from my func4 is printed. Then it goes to argument one. Argument one is my func1. It goes to argument one. Argument one says printing line one. So this print line one is there. Then function definition. Then printing line two. Function line two is there. Then it's calling my func2. So printing my func1, printing my func2 is printed, and it prints my line 3. Okay, line 3 is printed. Now it goes back to my func1 for remaining things. Okay, so this is still pending. So it prints this and then comes out. Confusing? No, it's not. Right? We are just replacing variable name with a function name. That's it. Isn't it?
Yeah. I put in some code. I'm getting an error when I'm
so
trying
see, the one thing I told you before, when I'm doing something on the screen, please look at my screen. Don't do any. When I give you time to do program, do that. Because if I'm talking about something else, your concentration is on fixing that error. And you will miss this, and then again, next day you'll have error in this. So when I am sharing screen, when I'm talking about something, I want you to focus. Doubt can be cleared later, can be cleared tomorrow, that's not a problem. But when I'm talking about something, I want you to focus on my screen. Okay, I gave you enough time to do that. I gave you more than 10 minutes to do that. So an error is there, you can fix it end of the session, right? You can ask me end of the session, you can you can ask me tomorrow. But don't practice parallelly. When I'm doing something, I want full concentration. Don't even write it because everything will be given. Okay, all the notes will be given. Don't even write it. Don't practice it parallelly. Look, especially when in online, if you switch your screen to your own screen, you will not be even seeing what I'm typing. So, don't do that. Okay, let me see your code. This is the one you're talking about, which is giving error.
Yeah, the last one that I sent. Actually, my idea is to
Wait.
get the
Where, okay, let me see the error. Okay, so you're saying G equal to var2. So var2 is what type?
it didn't say list, it said something else.
No, it will not say something else. It will say dictionary. I told you. The single star will convert into list, double star will convert into dictionary. Okay, so this is dictionary type. Okay, that's why you have key and value pair. In dictionary, you cannot say G of 0. Right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So this is how you can call function. Now, so, what I'm going to do is, this my function is here. Okay, let it be here. Now, so next topic, last topic before we end today, we'll talk about modules and packages. Okay, what are modules and packages? Modules means simply it means that you are setting up some common functions together as one file. Okay, so let's say I have done this work, and let's say we are all colleagues, we're working together on the same project. So I have done this, I've written these functions. Now we want, you might want this function to perform your own work, right? So what I have to do is I have to simply pass this function p41 to you. I will save this, of course it is saved, and I will email you or share the location, you take it. Once you take it, let's say this is your file p5. So here, module name is same as the file name. And module simply means collection of functions. So function is collection of statement, and module is collection of functions. And then you have packages. Packages is one collection of modules. So at the lowest end, you have the code, right? Each line. So we group each line as a function. So these lines of code here, these lines of code is given a name called my func4, right? All these functions is given a name p41. Okay, like p40 module p41, like p41. There you could have p2, p41, etc. You put them as package. So package is nothing but collection of module. Module is a collection of functions. Okay, so we'll see how to use a module first. So in P5, I want to use P41 functions. I'll simply say import. This, of course, once you have to save it in your location, compile it once into compile it, okay? And then you don't have to combine it. So I'll say import P capital, right? P41. That's it. The moment I say import P41, you get, all the functions which are there in P41 will be accessible for P5. So if I want to call my func1, so I'll say P41 dot. See, you have my func1, my func3, my func4. All these three functions have been imported. I say my func1. Okay, P41. So you say, so my func1 is called. Okay, so what happened? Okay, so before we talk about this, there's one more concept we'll talk about within this. If I import P41, okay, let's say I'm not calling anything. I call this P5. Okay, what happened? All this is printed. The moment you say import, okay, all these, this is called, because this one is not part of function, right? This is part of main, okay? That's the only code. So what happens when I say import, it executes this file, okay? And if you have this, so that's why it got executed, and the import itself is giving us all this output. And see this, let's say I have done this to test my code, and you get irritated why this is printing, because you don't want to print it, right? I have used it in my own way. You want to use it in your own way, right? So here you need to comment it out. Okay, you should not have any text in the. Yeah, so if I run P41, see, nothing is printed.
It won't do anything.
Yes. Now if I import P41, you won't do anything, right? But sometimes it can be irritating. Let's say I want to use P41 for my own work. I don't want to comment it out. So in that case, we have something called as name, __name, __. So the name of this, so when you execute the same file, if I say right click run P41, okay, so the name is main. Main means the file which you are executing, okay, file which you are executing. I am executing P41, so this is called main. So what I'll do is I will come here, okay, and I will say if underscore underscore name underscore underscore, okay, if underscore underscore name underscore underscore equal to condition, right, main underscore underscore main underscore underscore, okay. So name is the name of this function. You can check the function if you know which function, sorry, name is the file name, okay. You can check if name equal to P55, then oh, you're calling from, okay. So name equal to main means you are calling from same function. So that means if I call this, okay, my font one is here, right? Yeah. And why it's giving error here? Okay, since you have if, you have to give indentation, right? I forgot about that. Okay, so this condition. So what happens is it says when the calling function, calling file, name is file. If calling file is main means this itself. Okay, if I'm calling from P41, then perform all these. Okay, if I'm calling from P5, okay, those things will not be called because P5 is not main. You're not calling from main. You're calling from somewhere else. You're calling from P5. Okay, so let's see. I've not done this before. Let's see if this works. If I say underscore underscore name underscore underscore equal to P5, okay, and I say print. Oh, so you are calling me from P5. Okay, so now let's see. If I say P5.py, no. So there is a way to call this. You can check. Okay, not working. Okay, so else, and so this what I can do, I can give else then. Okay, else then it may not be from P5. I can call from anywhere else. So you're calling me from another file. So see, when I execute this P1, okay, this condition will be met and you get all this output. You don't get this else part. But if I call from P5, so in P5 this is not main, right? Your name is not main. So if name is not main, it goes to else. So if I do import P5 here, it will say the else part is executed. This is how I can control execution. If calling from P1, it has to be in main. So from now on, okay, now that you understand what is main, you understand what is docstring, you know what is function. Try to write whatever function you're planning to write using function, using docstring, and using name. So in the same file, if you have functions, okay, and you are executing those functions, always say if name equal to, and then you do everything here. Okay, because in future if somebody wants to use the function, they don't have to go through your code. Sounds good? Okay, so coming back to P5, yeah, was there a question?
No, so
yeah.
So when we're doing this, when we're calling a file back, so I'm sort of just confused. If we call a file, it'll just process the entire function that we have within the file.
Yes, this is like the nickname, right? You have your nickname, and if somebody on the road calls by your nickname, probably you will not respond. But if you know how somebody calls you a nickname, you will respond, right? So this is the whole program, and main is the nickname. So if you're calling from the family itself, if you're calling from the family itself, this will be called. If you're calling on the road, on the public, you will not respond, okay? So whatever you have added, this will not be executed. Because outside your family, your nickname is not known. right? So if your nickname is not known outside your family, be sure that no, nobody is calling you, right? You don't have to respond. Maybe somebody, calling someone else. But in your home, you know that, okay, this is my nickname, main is my nickname. So if somebody is saying main, I have to respond. So you execute this. Outside this function, this is like nickname, so you will not respond. So main will be the nickname for this P5, right? So if I, if you put here, you put main. Okay, of course this is not there here. Something I say print. So the main is nickname for P5 now, right? So if I call P5 only, this hello will be called. Still confused?
Not really. I think I got it now.
Yeah. Okay. So I was talking about importing the functions. So when I'm trying to import, say, a P4, now the moment I say P4, now P4 dot all your functions are accessible. I can say call P1, right? So I can call P1 and I can put this P1. Now that I told you have to practice like this, you have to practice this way. P5 and you run it. What happened? P1, my func1 is called from P41. Okay. Let's say P41 is a file name and you don't like, you said, oh, I don't like P41. I want to give it a name. So you can say import P41 as, okay, import P41 as, I want to have my own package name. You want to write something like this. So now if you see P41 is giving error. Okay, P41 is not defined because we have renamed P41 to this. So you copy this and put it here. So this is how you can rename the package name as well. So by default, package name is same as the file name. Okay, and then you want to rename it to, right? So you can have something like this. Okay. Third option, which I'll be showing is, so this is how you import P41. So what happens here? Complete P41 will be imported. All the functions which in P41 got imported, right? Without any restriction as such. Complete P41 functions got imported. So if there are like 100 functions there, your program will become little heavy. So what we try to do is we try not to import all the function, but instead the function which I want to. Right? So I'll comment this out. Okay, I'll say second way. Okay, I'll say from P41 import and you define the function. So if I define the function here, see all this. So I want 1 and 3. I don't want 4. So I'll say my func1, comma, my func3. So I just want 2 of the 100 functions which are there. I don't want to import all the functions, just the 2 functions. So when you directly import this, right, you don't have to give the package name here. You can directly use the function name, my func1. You don't have to say, see, my func2 is for you to use because we have not imported it, right? And my func1, you can use it without any dot or package name. Right?
Right.
So this is second way, or first way is 2 type, right? Import, you can rename it. Second is, from P41 import my func1, my func3, and here it will be used as, you can use it here. Okay, any question?
No.
So yeah, so the next is packages. Packages means you put multiple .py file, and you'll have one special file called init.py. Okay, so packages are your folders of modules, and you'll have init.py. Okay, and so you can have like multiple levels. So if I have like say Asia, under Asia I can have India, China, then under India can have different cities. So you can create that folder structure. And when you have that folder structure, and we'll see when we get into some advanced things, right? So you can say import Sklearn, right? So Sklearn is a package. Okay, it has cluster, pre-processing, data set, ensemble, linear model, metrics. Okay, I say metric. Under this, you have again cluster, right? Dot, so these are values, these are functions supervised. So you can see, so these are different folders. Okay, this is a basic folder. This is inside this folder. This is inside this folder. This is inside this folder. So that's what package is all about, putting all these PO files together in a different folder structure. Okay. So with this, we finish our topic, functions. So we have done basic programming, string, list, tuple, dictionary. Okay, we have done functions. Okay, I think there's one concept we haven't done, right? We haven't done mapping and filter, map, filter, reduce. We haven't done. So tomorrow when we meet, we'll do map, filter, reduce. Then with that, so map, filter, reduce is combination of list and functions together. So that's why I didn't do it. Like we'll complete list and function, and then we'll go and do that. After this, we will have so tomorrow we'll have map, filter, reduce. Day after, we will do class and objects. And class and objects will take some time. Okay, it can take 3 to 5 days. Okay, depending upon how we do. So yeah, so this whole week we'll try to finish class and objects. So once class and objects is done, your 70% of the course will be done, or I would say 80% of course is done. And that's what we need to know. Class and objects is the concept. Now, from class and objects, whatever we will be doing, those will be application of the concept. Concepts, okay, is only till class and objects. Concept of if, concept of else, if else, concept of loops, concept of functions, concept of list, tuple, dictionary, concepts of class and objects. These are the basic concepts. Okay, these are like grammar. You're learning the grammar, how to use, how to define. From then onwards, it will just the application, right? So you have to be. So what I'll do is once we complete class and objects, I will take 2 days break. Okay, I'll share all the PDF. I'll share the learning notes. Will anyway shared. You practice for 2 days, and then we will take one by one topic and we'll try to knock it out. We will take once database. We'll see how to read files. Okay. So I'm hoping that in next 10 classes we should be able to wrap up completely.
Okay. Also, sir, if you wouldn't mind, can you post these videos online?
Yeah, I'll do that. So videos is taking time to do that. So that's what. So I'll do that. I have to rename the video also, no? So videos I'll do. Yeah, sure. I'll do that.
Thank you so much. It would really help me a lot.
No, I'll do that. That's what the plan is. I'll upload it. Sure then. So have a wonderful evening or day ahead, and we'll talk in next 24 hours.
All right. Thank you, sir. Have a good day.
Thank you. Bye, everyone. Take care.